It has been a minute since the Galaxy Fold 4 was released, and we've had so many other announcements since then, the iPhone 14, the Pixel 7, that you might just have missed out on what I actually think is one of the standout best devices of the whole year. And there are 7 reasons why that I am not ready to give this device back, and in fact, I won't be giving this device back at all, at least until the Fold 5 comes out next year. Now, number 1 for me is, very surprisingly, the battery life. Now, I remember testing out the Fold 3 last year, and it would really struggle to get through anything near a day, but the Fold 4, with the new Snapdragon kind of processor in here, now it just more comfortably gets through a full day of use. Now, given that this phone, of course, has the huge expandable inside screen, it actually is really remarkable that they've been able to get a full day's battery life with this. Even with multiple Bluetooth devices, you've got my watch, my fitness band, my other fitness bands, headphones, and using 5G as well, I'd actually call this device a bit of a battery beast. It is so impressive. Now, number 2 is actually a really short and simple thing, but it's actually this hinge. Like, the way that it's been designed so that you can open at any angle and it just stays there. It's really impressive. And also, the sound that it makes when you close it, it's just so satisfying. Now, time will of course tell if this will live up to a year's worth of opening and closing, but given that there is also a year's worth of free insurance, which actually came, free with this phone, I'm actually pretty happy to know that at least I have that covered if, anything was to happen. Now, over the last few months, I've taken this phone to a ton of places, including a family holiday to a beach in Devon, and for a while, I really wasn't sure about how well this device would hold up. Sand definitely did get into the hinges, and I had, I guess, let's say, a bit of a crunchy hinge for a while. But after a week or two, that kind of mostly went, and I can only assume that it eventually just worked its way out from kind of opening and closing it all the time. So we will see over, an extended period of time how well that actually holds up in the real world. But so far, very impressed, very satisfying hinge. Number 3, and getting to the good stuff now, is the whole just interface for multitasking. Now, honestly, this is something that Apple should really be paying attention to with their iPads. Now, the Samsung Fold 4 has the most intuitive, usable multitasking experience that I've ever had before on like a mobile cum tablet thing, including the iPad. All you do is simply drag and drop what you want, where you want, and it works. You can kind of drag things left and right, up and down, control exactly the dimensions you want. It is so easy to use. And this is honestly like the most user-friendly kind of interface that I've used before on a phone, particularly for multitasking. So huge respect for Samsung for actually coming up with a system that works after like a 4th generation of tablet. Like, aren't we on the iPad 12 right now or something? And all they came up with is some awkwardly horrendous stage manager. Now, number 4 are the cameras on this thing. There are a total of 5 cameras. You've got the front-facing camera on the inside screen here. You've got the 3 rear cameras, and you've got the camera on the front screen as well. Now, this thing is absolutely packed with them. But something you might be surprised with is that these cameras are actually some of the most capable cameras of all of the flagship phones this year. Like, put side by side with the likes of the iPhone, the S22 Ultra, the Pixel 7 Pro, and don't think you'll be able to actually tell the difference which one is which. Now, I'm seriously impressed with these cameras. It's got a good portrait camera, good selfie camera, and with the bonus being that you can use the rear-facing cameras as the selfie camera, although it can be a bit awkward to, hold the phone. It is very well designed. Now, yes, you might say that 5 cameras is overkill, but to me, they actually make perfect sense. Number 5, let's talk about the sheer flexibility of this phone, no pun intended. Now, I've used this phone with just the front screen and had totally forgotten that it had an inside screen. I just sat there using it like a normal phone. I didn't feel like I was restricted in any way. Now, equally, of course, I've used this as a large part of the time, opened up in this like tablet-like view to display way more content on this screen than I could on any other like normal phone. Now, you can of course fold the phone up to sit on a table, watch videos while scrolling through comments. You can use the camera and keep a preview of the camera roll down the side as you go. You can hold a Teams conference while still browsing social media or responding to emails. There is just so much you can do with this device that isn't possible with any other device. Now, one of the best uses of being able to actually multitask hits you square in the face when you first switch over to the Fold. You can fire up your password manager and then a second, a third, or even 4th app all together and easily just copy and paste information between them without awkwardly going back and forth switching like you do on smaller phones. There is a reason why companies like Roboform exist though, before you're leaving comments like why don't you use Samsung Knox or Google Chrome as your password manager? Now, those systems keep your passwords in one place, but not always helpful if you're using a different device. Now, with Roboform, I know I can pick up any device like my Fold, an iPhone, my Mac, my Windows machine, and still have access to all of my logins in one place. They have kindly offered viewers of this video a 30% discount, so simply follow the link down below to get yours, and thank you RoboForm for sponsoring this portion of the video. Number 6, it's a simple one, but so many people get this one wrong, and this is the fingerprint sensor. Now, I think all phones should have a fingerprint sensor on the side, although to throw gas onto the fire, I do wish Android would have Face ID. But the one thing that's been letting down a lot of phones I've tested this year has been the fingerprint sensor. The Pixel 6, the 6 Pro, and the 6a all being a prime example of this. Great phones, hampered by a bad choice of fingerprint sensor. Now, I am absolutely happy to report that this is not the case with the Fold 4. It has an excellent fingerprint sensor. It works really quickly, really reliably in all sorts of situations, and also with the new Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, which I also really like. I also enjoy using Bluetooth to be able to unlock the phone whilst it's connected via Bluetooth. Now, the watch is a whole other discussion though, and we'll be having just a few days time actually when the Pixel Watch comes out, so subscribe if you want to know how that one compares. But the fact is, when you're using this phone, particularly when you're using this phone as a tablet, you don't actually have to readjust your grip, because it's kind of there, you're typing away, you just move your thumb around to unlock the whole thing, which makes the whole experience of, you know, unlocking the phone, downloading apps, and logging into like numerous like biometrically protected apps an absolute breeze. Now, number 7 on the list of why I'm not going to hand this phone back is not even a specific feature, but I'm just going to chalk this one down as innovation. It is just reassuring to know that what I hold in my hands is the epitome of mobile innovation, like Samsung taking strides to try something new that hasn't been done before, that won't be done unless Samsung takes these strides. From the selfie camera that hides itself on the screen to a really satisfying hinge, a seamless hinge that does practically disappear once you open it up. And this year also getting a year's free insurance when you buy the phone, included with the phone, just seals the deal. It just answers all the questions we all have for, I wonder if it will last, I wonder if the screen will break, I wonder if the hinge is going to actually work, I wonder if it's capable of surviving. All of those gone with that decision to insure it for a whole year, at least here in the UK anyway. And that's the innovation I want to support. Like, I want to be part of it, so I will be holding on to my Fold 4 for much longer, using it every single day, and I can't wait to see what innovation they bring in the Fold 5 when that comes around. Until then, check out my day in the life of the Fold 4 or the Flip 4, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye-bye.